So, what's looked for is never going to be found in thoughts or words or understanding. It's never going to be found in what I say or you think or the other teacher says or a book says or in descriptions of realizations. It's never going to be found in any of that. All words and understanding and thoughts and ideas and speakers and non-duality, Buddhism, Christianity, all different religions come and go. They appear and disappear like all other things. They're not a truth or reality. They're not what you look for. They're not it. They come and go and come and go. A thought of understanding appears and then disappears. Words appear and disappear. Thoughts appear and disappear. That's not it. No understanding, no words can describe what's being pointed to here. But the mind carries on spinning, looking, like a hamster in a wheel, going round and round and round, looking. Is it here? No, I'm acting badly. It's because I acted wrong. No, I don't feel right. No, I feel wrong. It should be like this. No, this teacher says it's like that. When's it going to happen for me? When am I going to get there? What have I done wrong? Where have I gone wrong? I must be doing the right practice. What's the right practice? Oh yes, I sit in I am. I am. I am. I sit in I am. It's not found in any of those words or that mental activity. It just goes round and round and round and round. What's been pointed to was there prior to all the intellectual thinking, and is still there now, but is seemingly covered by all the intellectual thinking. The baby's free, the dogs, the birds, the bees, the slug, the worm, the trees, the clouds. The human, though, seem to be bound, because they've dreamt in this whole separate reality. They've dreamt that they are somebody in words, and it's become an energetic expression. It's become this feeling of being inside a body. It's become a reality, and everything's looked at through that dreamt reality. And what's being pointed to here is that freedom of childlike innocence, the freedom the idiot has, the fool has. This is not about knowing anything. It's losing all ideas, and then ideas are simply used as progression of the human progressing and surviving better. But they're not a reality, they're just tools. But they've become a reality. I am angry, and you know who you are, and you know what anger is. I am this, I am that, I am good, I am bad, I am guilty, I am innocent, he's guilty, he's innocent. It's losing all sense of what you think you know, including the idea of you. And then the intellect just appears when it needs to appear. And it's not your choice. for the intellect to appear. It just appears. You don't need to work out when the intellect needs to appear. But it's so crazy because we point to this through words, and it's got nothing to do with words. But there's some form of knowing this beyond the words, some resonance, some aliveness there that's bubbling away, that's always been free. It's never been bound in an idea. There's everything and nothing, and even beyond the ideas of everything and nothing. And you'll never get it. You'll never understand this. It will never make sense. You'll never be able to sit there and stick your flag in the ground and go, I know non-duality, follow me. It's the collapse of all that to absolute freefall, innocence, with complicated thinking, but no longer seeing the world through complicated thinking. The world is as it is, which is free. And then complicated thinking comes and goes. Hi, Philip. Okay, I can see some questions arising. Hi, Lisa, thanks. Hi, Roberto. Oh. This is from Derek. Was there a deepening or an integration in the body, mind, or whatever following the initial recognition of what is? Can you speak of this? Why do you need to know this, Derek? Will it make you feel more secure? That you know where you're going and what's happening? That you know you're on the right path? You know what to look for? You know you're not descending into hell? Yeah, I'm recording, Stan. Let's make sure that it's working, yeah. This is from Philip Pratt. If understanding is not necessary, what happens to the body, mind, organism in realizing this? Does it step aside? I would say that what's happened is there's a losing happening, and it's not that the body-mind mechanism steps aside. It's this energy that's contracted inside of the body-mind mechanism, or seemingly bound inside of the body-mind mechanism, drops away, and then there's this pure aliveness, this beingness, this I prior to I am the body, is everywhere and nowhere. yet the functioning of the body still carries on. Pretty funky, eh? Hey, Robert. He says, hello, Lisa, appreciating ya. Very good. It's cold in here. It's cold, Khaleesi. It's cold, Khaleesi. Oh, okay. So, oh my goodness, your name is so complicated for an English person. Arajanki. Will fear of what might happen stand in the way of seeing the truth? Hello, Hannah.
Hi, Lisa.
Did you want to talk or just sit on Ustream? On Skype.
Are you talking to anyone at the moment?
I was, but it's only written, so I can answer them later.
Okay. Just wanted to ask something about intensity.
Yeah.
So intensity of sensation.
Yeah.
Current experience, there's intensity of sensations that how to put this, but that seems like it's an intensity of sensations that seems to still be labelled me.
Yeah.
But without any further thoughts about that or story about that coming up.
Yeah.
And that's and that the word intensity comes up. Is there a question there? I don't know.
It just wanted to get said. Intense feeling, or
apparently so. Maybe there's the expectation that there shouldn't be intensity or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, and then it'll be uncomfortable. There couldn't be any other way than what's happening. Ever. You cannot get rid of that.
Yeah.
You cannot know what's happening. You cannot know its place. You cannot know where it's going. It's horrendous for that one that's always believed it could. You cannot know why it appears, how long it will appear for, where it's come from. Nothing can be known about it. There is expression happening, and it's all a big question mark. The agony comes with that whole dialogue of trying to work it out, trying to get somewhere, maintaining that it belongs to you and that you've experienced this for so many years. But even if that arises, it couldn't be any other way.
Yeah.
But it's all the mental activity that goes around the experiencing. Experiencing is full on.
Yeah.
The body's born to die.
Yeah. And it's just because it seems to be unpleasant or painful, there still seems to be. Well, then thoughts come up about this shouldn't be happening, and
and
this should go away. And is there any way to make it go away?
And there's no way. As soon as the mind believes there's a way, it just is running around in the hamster ball.
Yeah.
It is as it is. There's nowhere to get to. It will pass because everything comes and goes. Like, everything is constantly coming and going, but you cannot make any conclusions of it, particularly around what to do with it. That's what it's always been doing. That's how it got in the mess in the first place.
Yeah.
That belief that the intellect rules, it doesn't at all. Now, you can think your way out of this in some way, or feel your way out of it. I know that I'm really putting you in the fire, because taking away all that sense of hope and all that sense of activity can make it more intense, because if you're hoping that you can get rid of it, or if you're busy thinking you can do something about it, it's a distraction.
Yeah. But there is also a knowing that, and that isn't that there is also a knowing that there is nothing that can be done about it.
It is as it is.
It is as it is.
But if doing happens, it happens. It's not wrong or right if that doing happens. If there is something that tries to relieve it, that couldn't be any other way either.
Yeah. But that doesn't have to happen. Nothing has to happen.
No, it's in a way the doing. It's not that the doing's wrong, but in a way the doing is busying itself to try and get out of it. It's like, rather than it being as it is, it's trying to look to get out of it, which isn't wrong. That's really understandable, but it's kind of it's just that hamster in a ball. Keep on circulating, keep on going round, trying to get somewhere that it won't. And I don't know if that energy encourages it or not, or if it builds the energy.
Yeah, that's one thing that comes up, because people talk about that quite a lot. That like, talk about resistance, or that then makes it
bigger,
carry on, or more intense.
In a way, that's really unknowable. That's talking about something that isn't here. Like, the only thing that is here is that feeling, and then all that mental activity is dreaming, and that's for sure. That's really as much as we know. Whether anything affects the next moment, it seems to do in the physical world, in like you drop a cup and it smashes, but in the mental world, is there really a me or a mind or a continuous something? It's all unknowable. The only thing that's known is that intense expression. The rest is dream. The rest is mental masturbation. And the mental masturbation was the problem in the first place. The dreaming about oneself. Taking the complicated thinking to be who you are.
Yeah. I enjoy that phrase, mental masturbation. I know some people don't, but
I like it as well. It might be an English. It might be a bit of an English thing. It might not translate well into other languages.
Yeah, I heard somebody else ask you about it before. Trying to translate it.
Yeah, it doesn't really work when I say it in other countries.
Right.
Then the translator, if there's a translator, has to translate into their language.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Hannah. Bye.
Bye.
There's two types of fear. This is from R. Okay. This is from R. There's two types of fear. There's natural fear. So the body could be conditioned to be afraid of sticks if it's been beaten by sticks, or be afraid of cars if it's been in a car accident. And that's just natural conditioning of the body. And then there's mental fear, or psychological fear, which is this dreamed fear, which is fearing things that aren't really here, and then dreaming about how to get rid of the fears or what to do about the fears in the future. So rather than there just being a fear of sticks, and when the stick appears, there's fear, there's a dream or a preempting that. And it's not that it's wrong or right anymore, but it's all in a conceptual reality. It's all part of a dream of somebody that's separate. And it's not an actuality. So that is what creates the illusion of self, or part of what creates the illusion of self. But fear, the initial feeling of fear, isn't separation. It's the dream about trying to get out of fear, or trying to preempt fear, or trying to stop fear. The body's obviously going to naturally move away from scary things. If there's a snake, or if there's a path which has got snakes in it, it might not go down that one. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this daydreaming fear. And it's not that it prevents you seeing the truth, because there is no you that will see the truth. It just veils what is. It just it separates what's actually happening, and what's actually is happening becomes a dreamt reality rather than what actually is. Okay, we'll go to you. Hi, Philip.
Hi. How are you?
Good, thank you. I see you're the invisible man.
Should I put my video on?
No, my internet won't be able to handle it.
Hello?
Hiya.
Sorry, I lost that. I just wanted to ask a question about achieving and doing and getting somewhere.
Yeah.
If this is it, well, even the avoiding, even the kind of, even the seeking, even the lack of courage, even the imagination, still it. It's so sort of isness, you know. There doesn't seem to be a problem, and yet we still talk about problems of belief in self, and even the belief in self is still it.
Yeah.
It's still all of isness.
Yeah.
It's still all of what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And yet we still judge it as something wrong or something to get rid of, you know.
Something that what? Sorry, hang on.
Well, something to get rid of.
Yeah.
Something to overcome, to realise. In realisation of it, it's kind of like that's the goal. It's still a goal, and you still seem to talk about a goal.
Yeah.
Even though you say there is no goal, because there is nothing but isness. And I just find it a bit confusing at times.
Yeah. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Sorry, your internet's really cutting out, but
I'm sorry. It's Brisbane heat, I think.
Yeah. I'm sure I do make it sound like there's somewhere to get to. I'm sure but as soon as anyone speaks about anything, that's what's going to happen. But well, there's that dream of separation. There's always going to be that energy that's looking for something better. And I don't really know what's happening here. For some reason, Lisa, or this Bodymind mechanism, points out to people that there is nowhere better to get to. But it sounds like, in saying that this is better than that.
Yeah.
Which, do I think it's better? It's not that I think it's better, but while that me dynamic is dreaming of something better than what actually is, there's always a sense of discomfort that's going to arise, because this isn't going to be enough. And there can be that falling away, and this can be enough. which isn't a pleasure, it's just the end of looking for something else than this. And that, in a way, does sound like a goal, and it's not really a goal because there's no one that can get there, but it seemingly is a difference from dreaming that there's better out there in the future. But yeah, in a way, I do fail, and every speaker does. I don't mean to just pick on me. Like everybody that speaks about this does, because as soon as you open your mouth, you're implying that there's something better than what's happening, and that the seeking is wrong, and it's not wrong in any way, and it couldn't be any other way if it's appearing. But it's uncomfortable when the body's looking for something else than what's happening, when you're sitting with your lover and all you can think about is being somewhere else, or when you're sitting watching the TV and there's this agitated energy that's wanting to move all the time, or eat, or shout at your partner. But that couldn't be any other way if that's what's happening.
No. But is there ever a point where there's total acceptance of irritation or discomfort or
I don't think that somebody can ever accept it at all. I think that the somebody is the resistance. The somebody is the already assumed position, so an already contracted energy that's looking to go somewhere. So I don't think somebody could ever accept it. I think that would be very uncomfortable if somebody was trying to accept it. They'd just be trying to look for something better, and it's just another form of seeking, of trying to accept it. There can just be the falling away of all those false ideas that seemingly became an energetic reality and the world viewed it through, but there's no path to that, there's no way to get to that. It just happens or it doesn't happen. Like, I can't say A plus B equals C, because the only thing we know is what's actually happening, and the only thing that's happening is this aliveness where all these forms are appearing and disappearing, and that's the only thing that can be pointed out again and again and again and again. And in that, it kind of undercuts all the false ideas about it being this way or that way, or the mental activity going round and round in its ball. And it's very simple. This is all there is. And that one that thinks it's going to get somewhere never is. It's a dreamt reality. And it's really, really simple, but it's so complicated for that dreaming energy that's going so quickly round in its ball, looking for something better, where to go, what to do. I did this wrong, they did this wrong. If it hadn't been for this, if I'd done this. But that in itself couldn't be any other way if that's appearing. Like, it keeps that it's not a you, you're not that person. That's appearances popping up, giving a feeling of separation and discomfort.
In its limitation, the dreaming energy is never going to get it. So why?
No, the dreaming energy. You're right. It's never going to get it at all. You can't, as a dream, understand this. It's like as appearances can't understand this. But what may happen is that the appearances of the dreamer might begin to crumble or be deconstructed. But how that happens is so freaking mysterious. It's like asking why the world appears. But nobody could get this. You're so right.
Yeah. Even trying to stop that, it's kind of like
impossible. And it's so uncomfortable dreaming that you could possibly stop anything. It's just appearances. There's only ever appearance of you in each moment, coming up and disappearing. There's no solid you anyway.
Thanks very much, Lisa.
Thanks, Philip.
Do I sign off now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Bye.
Hi, Lorenzo. Are you still there, Lorenzo? Did you just want to listen? Hello? I think you're going to have to turn up your mic or put it nearer to your face. I can just hear a whisper. Oh, you just want to listen? Okay. All right. You can just listen. Okay. Hey, Nick. Hi, Nels. So Nels asks, is the me dynamic like a pacifier that it gives itself to avoid something? There is no self. There is nobody behind the me that's avoiding something. The me is just an appearance, giving a certain flavour and a certain view, which is an illusion and is suffering. So aliveness isn't trying to avoid anything, it's just creating. Hi, Rich D. Question. Life after awakening. I find it difficult to have the drive to find a better job and need to earn more money after awakening 6-7 years ago. It feels like it doesn't matter somehow, as everything is just as it's supposed to be. Can you speak on this? Lisa? Thanks. Rich D. Hi, Lisa. Yeah? That's often the case. I can't think of anything to say on it. Derek. When an intense motion arises, for instance in response to some tragic occurrences, does the attention ever get pulled into so strongly that the sense of what is moves into the background? Thanks. Did your self fall away? I think you described that earlier, the contracted energy and stuff. Could you say that again? I don't know why it's relevant about for me getting pulled strongly, or Lisa, or who you think Lisa is getting pulled strongly into something. It's just stories. Lisa's really irrelevant about this. Maybe you could ask who is Lisa? Who do you mean by that? Gets pulled into a strong story. Who? Who is this continuous that you think exists? So could you say more about the contracted energy? Sure. So, so the difference between humans and animals don't suffer, but humans suffer because they have the ability to think complicatedly and to see time. And what happened in humans, which hasn't happened in animals, is humans begun to take that time to be who they were. So they began to take who they thought they were as past and future actions of the body. Of firstly the body, and then the past and future actions, so what the body's done and doesn't do. And then it takes, how successful the body's been, what possession the body has, what living situation it's in, what it looks like, and so on. Whereas the animals don't have that ability, they just are. And there's no sense of their edge and the world beginning. They don't have a sense that they start at the edge of the body. There's just this aliveness which is everywhere. They don't have a sense of where sound starts and ends. There's just sound happening. They don't have a sense that they hear it, then it stops, and then there's a sound. There's just sound appearing. There's light appearing. There's movement appearing, but they don't have an identity. The human, though, begins to tell the story again and again and again. that it's inside the body, it's its choices, free will, actions, good actions, bad actions, and it begins to see the world through this mental conceptual reality. And this conceptual reality seemingly is going on the whole time, giving this energy of contraction of me versus the world. I am separate from the world. I am somebody in here separate from everything else out there. And it walks around believing it's separate and believing who it is a past and future entity. Somebody that existed in the past and is going to exist in the future. And that energy and belief, that belief system becomes energetical, and it feels like you are in here and you are hurt by the world, you feel rejected by the world, abandoned by the world, confused by the world, happy when the world gives you things, but it's very caged. And stories can last for ages about who annoyed you or where you're going or what you've done or what you dream of. And it's constantly living in blah, blah, blah. And seemingly that can be deconstructed, although I don't know how the deconstruction happens. It's quite mysterious. And what stops appearing is this veil which covers what is. And then what is what is. It's no longer you in relationship with what is. But it's an energetic thing. It's not something you get in time, it's a collapse of an energy that feels bound. Karen says, trivial question, is the doggy on the door a bag? It's so cute. No, it's actually my hot water bottle. It's cool, eh? I've had that for years. It's like a cover that you put over your hot water bottle. It's so nice when it's cold. I've got a doggy on the bed as well. Naughty Khaleesi's on the bed. Got a doggy on the door and a doggy on the bed. We're out of questions. I've said it all so quickly today. I've made so much sense. So beautiful and eloquent. Thank you. That's from Derek. So just an announcement for people that are on Ustream. I always forget to announce these. If you're watching Ustream now and you're getting lots of ads, there's two ways you can get rid of them. You can buy ad-free time from Ustream, or you can download something called Ad Blocker, which is free. But you have to download it for your web browser, so Firefox or Safari, and your computer, whether that's PC or Apple. And then it will only work in the web browser and the computer, obviously, that you've downloaded it on. And so you've got to open Ustream in, say, if you've downloaded it in Safari. And if you want to ask questions, it's best to ask them through Skype, which is Lisa Cairns 12. I tend not to see them on Ustream. And you can also call in. Calling in is really nice as well. So this is from TJ. Do you feel this energy, timeless presence, is more present when you go to a place like India? No. It's just as present when doing the tax returns. India, Spain, England, wherever, walking the dogs. It's everywhere. If it was found more in one place, then it wouldn't be freedom. It would be conditioned. It's everywhere. In a prison, on death row, in the murderer, the paedophile, in being raped. Otherwise it wouldn't be called freedom. You can't have freedom and then say it's only in India, or it's only if you give Lisa all your money. Although I should say that. So, Phyllis, so when my sister is ragging at me, I love that word, ragging, and the blood pressure goes up, is this just a reaction of the body that doesn't like being aggressed, or is it more of me? I don't know. Sometimes I notice when people are being really aggressive to this body mind mechanism, the heartbeat goes faster. Like sometimes when I'm in talks and people are really firing at me or going at me, or even if you're in the shop or something and someone really goes at you, or who else? Or when I'm trying to sort out a dog problem when I'm out on a dog walk, the heartbeat goes up. I don't know if that's heart pressure. I don't think it would be possible for me to have high blood pressure. I'm always the other end. But maybe if it goes on for a long time, maybe it is an energy that's repeating the story again and again and again. But sure, this body's going to react physically to situations. My dog in the car, and dogs do not suffer, she sometimes drools because she is scared of the car, and sometimes she shakes uncontrollably. And she doesn't have a sense of who she is or who the car is or that it shouldn't be happening, or doesn't take it personally at all. And this drools coming up. She pants sometimes, and this morning she was even shaking. Hi Andrew. Will you be coming back to Paris? Sure. I see there's a little video on here. Should I play it? Yeah, we're thinking of it being May that I go back to Paris. But I also do events that aren't too far from Paris. There's one in Belgium in April, and in Holland, which isn't too far away. Hi Jay, I saw you called. Please call again if you want to ask a question. Hey Jill. It suddenly, this is from Aspawn, it suddenly went up for the apparent me, that I am nothing because I am everything, but I feel no change. Is it enough with such practical intellectual understanding, or must there be an experience as well? I spawn. Yeah, intellectual understanding is something that comes and goes. It's like an energetical, and it's the stopping of the appearance of suffering coming up. That energetic energy of contraction. Sometimes it can seem like deconstruction, or something that's happening over time, but ultimately it's not. It can't be. Can it? We don't even know past exists. I used to live in Australia, Philip. He's asked if I'll come to Australia to give some talks. I would love to go to Australia to give some talks, but it might have to be quite a few talks because it's such a huge, expensive flight to cover that flight. And then I have to cover my dog's daycare as well. I got given a dog in Thailand and she's expensive. But she's so beautiful. She's so cute. Thanks. And it does repeat. So there appears a condition that is cautious, but that could be the body that is afraid of being yelled at. Yeah, you'll never know, Phyllis. It's not your job to work it out. It's all doing fine without you. Lorenzo says, it's true, I can see it in my dog. Just to let you know, Philip and Lorenzo, because you're writing in the group chat, it's harder for me to see your messages. You're better writing to me outside of group chat, if you can work out how to do that. How do you take care of your dog in Thailand, Lisa? Well, she's here. She's not in Thailand. She flew back to England. So I take care of her now. In England, I don't pay someone to look after her in Thailand. She's on the bed, actually. She's so cute. Another question. Is it helpful to question the thoughts that come up to see if they're not true, in order to see through the ego? Or is that just more thinking? It's more thinking, but if that's what's happening, it couldn't be any other way. You aren't choosing thoughts. It feels like you are because they come with this tight feeling of you, and it feels like you've thought about questioning them. But they're appearing out of this huge, vast mystery, this nothingness. They're not appearing from you. So if questioning of thoughts arise, that's God as well. That's it as well. But it is more thinking. Right or wrong. How do we ever know that? How can you ever find the beginning of right and wrong? You have to stick a stake in somewhere to say the beginning of right to then find wrong. Or you have to stick a stake in somewhere to say this is what wrong is, so this is what right is. Wrong is only known against right, and right is only known against wrong. Says, thanks, and here I still thought I was in control. It really gives the appearance of it because it's so close to that I, that aliveness, that I that's completely empty, that it feels like I am choosing to question my thoughts. It's like they've become interlinked, so it really feels like you're doing something. But this original I is two-sided, it's absolutely empty, and it's all things. All things. But that little I, that description in time, isn't the chooser. That one that says, I'm going to choose to look at my thoughts. That's just something that comes and goes, and the God is in the thought. What is looked for is in the actual thought, but the thought implies it's something else. Hello. Hello. There's no questions, by the way. I'm not just ignoring questions. This is from Polo. Hi Lisa, be lost in thought still happens for Lisa character? There is no solid person that gets lost in thoughts. What falls away is not being lost in thoughts for somebody. What falls away is that condensed energy of a somebody. Gad says, I have nothing to ask. Andrew. We'll be doing day sessions in May. I could only come to the night show last because of work. Yeah, the same as before, I think. Do you want me to play that video? Is it a question? Andrew. I haven't arranged the Paris yet, though. It was meant to be May, but we're rearranging it. Cool. Oh, I have a question actually in my email box. This is from Hi Lisa, this is from French Uncle. Bhagavad Ramana spoke and speaks mainly through silence as like Dashkamuti, the Adi Guru, the Red Mountain on Gerard. Oh no, it was a Christmas message. Cookie City, Cookie City, Cookie City. Hello City, hello City. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Hello City, hello City, hello City. He's being so sweet. Question. This is from Rich D. Has every human got an earth soul, or after death of the body mind, does everyone come back to the no-thingness? When the body dies, the character dies. Aliveness doesn't die, or beingness. Beingness might go into no-thingness, or might be no-thing and everything again, but the person dies with the body. The character dies with the body. Cookie City! What's she up to? What's she doing? What's she doing? What's she doing? Oh, here she come to say hello. She come to say hello. Oh. Tuk, 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 tuk. Look at that little bottom. Tuk, tuk, tuk. She's so sweet. Tuk, tuk, tuk. I'm back, a friend. Oh. Ooh la la, somebody farted. It wasn't me, it wasn't me. She's so sweet. Oh yeah. She likes that. Oh yeah. Ooh la la, Missy. Ooh la la. Oh. downstairs. You want to go downstairs and see Cassie? Yeah? Where's Cassie? Where's Cassie? Where's Cassie? Go on. Where's Cassie? Hi Lisa, question. Thoughts seem personal, but desires seem even more personal. Especially regarding men, like I want him. He's my companion, or I will not be complete until I'm with him, for example. Can you please comment on that? Yeah, not all thoughts are personal. It's more the seeking energy thoughts that I was pointing to. A feeling like completion comes from the future. And yeah, that feels really personal. I need him in order to exist, or I need him to be happy, or I need him for something. Thoughts about how to work out the tax isn't really what I'm talking about. It's more those thoughts that are trying to get somewhere. They really feel personal because it really feels like you've got something missing and it's in your torso. It's right in here, it's missing. And they will fill it up. It's a lie, but while it's there, it couldn't be any other way. Nothing will ever fill you up. All things come and go. Nothing will fill you up. No thing will fill you up. And everything is no thing. But not one of those things. Did you want to speak, Lorenzo?
Well, no, I mean, I just lost the call before, but
okay.
We can talk.
No, it's okay if you don't want to speak. You can just sit there if you like. It's kind of hard to hear you, to be honest.
Yeah, no, because my microphone is not working well, I guess.
Okay.
Well, no, I had like one question, but so the thing, like you say all the times, like this, you know, you repeat like this,
yeah.
like other than this. Like, what is like this? Like.
I can't really remember how I say this. Well, the problem is in talking about this subject, is you can never directly say it, because as soon as you directly say it, you limit it to one thing.
Right.
So even by saying this, it's kind of shooting itself in the foot, because it's no thing which is being talked about, and yet everything. All things come and go, and there's something that is always alive and being when all those things come and go. All thoughts about who you are, all stories about who you are, all possessions, all friends, family, past, future. And it's always this. It's never moving in a way, it's timeless, and seemingly in it time appears and disappears. But it's impossible to talk about in the positive.
Right, I see myself, I have a sense of this, you know, like,
yeah.
Like something like, you know, resonates, like,
yeah.
Music, but then, you know, of course, at the same time, something else says, you know, like no, or refuses it, or I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Or is looking for something a bit better than this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I see that in myself. That it's always like looking for or anticipating, the next moment or whatever.
Yeah.
Not okay with this, or like if you want it like in a certain way, and sometimes it doesn't go, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's in a way, it's well, for me, it's like a trap in a way.
Yeah.
And I see this thing perpetuating like itself.
Yeah.
Especially before I go to sleep. Um, it's funny. I had an interview once with these guys from Dubai. I was supposed to get a job, right?
Yeah.
The interview went really bad. I mean, things that they came out of my mouth. I have no idea where they came from. This guy, something like I'm like, what? Because I didn't get the job, right? And for a week or maybe two, the same conversation was, being repeated in my mind, and I couldn't stop. And the thing, just like like I wish it was different,
Yeah.
For a week, just couldn't stop, and and then after 2 weeks or so, like stopped. I'm like, God, finally,
Yeah.
Take it, and we just repeat it every day,
Yeah.
because it was wrong,
Yeah, and it had an idea that going to Dubai would be better than your current situation.
Yeah, well, of course, I had made my plans of how much money I'm gonna make, and this and that, and my friend, and like I had all this plan. But the funny thing is, really, the day I sat there and I started talking to these people, and I didn't get it, of course, right. So I was telling them that I cannot work with women, which is not true. Then after saying, I'm like, what? Because they were like this food and beverage manager from the hotel, and was some other guy, and I had to like to look very and they were asking like, see, I couldn't get the job in a way because they were asking me personal questions like about like like why should we hire you, or you about you, and I had no idea. I mean, like what to really tell to these people.
Yeah.
So it's like lately was this thing
Yeah.
but the interview, I mean, in a way, yes, but I mean, in a way, I'm happy I didn't go to Dubai because I never liked Dubai. Just my friend, started telling me Dubai, and said, hey, if the idea comes, and maybe I decide to come to Dubai. But I had to lie to these guys because I was never a manager in a place that I wrote on the resume, so I had to lie and do all this stuff. But the funny thing is, see, that I had difficulty of talking about like seeing like some questions that they ask, about the personality, right? Like about like you want to be the first, you want to be this, you want to be that, and I couldn't answer actually because see, if you're asking me like a question, see, in a way I know that it's like today, but maybe tomorrow I don't like it anymore. See, the questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Usually offices, they ask you these questions, right?
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I have no idea what I'm going to be tomorrow. Imagine in 5 years. Yeah, but see, it's in a way, I don't know.
And this all spirals from the idea that you have choice. If there wasn't that idea in play that you had choice, then it couldn't keep coming back, wishing that it would been, or you'd said something different.
This is why it comes back, like just out of nowhere, just boom, pops up.
Yeah, and it's got nothing to do with you, and maybe in that you can see how impersonal it is. It's not you producing. There's not a you in there producing. It just comes out repeating itself.
If it was up to me, I would stop it. I would say, okay, enough. That's it, no more. But the thing is, here I see that I'm not in charge of this because I cannot choose my thoughts.
Yeah, it's the same with all of it. And this is where complicated thinking took over. It took too much responsibility and believed, or got into this dance of believing that it was controlling all of this, and therefore always suffered when it didn't get what it thought was right or what it thought it wanted.
Control it. So I wanted to make the perfect interview and like talk perfectly, and which I don't talk like perfectly. I'm not like all composed, like all like a stone, like
Yeah.
I don't know, just whatever the character is. So you're right.
But it's seemingly been drummed in or been in the story since very young, since 2 or 3, the parents start saying choose good over bad. And so that momentum's strong, but there's really not someone it's happening to. That whole person is all in that chooser and what it's chosen in the past, what it's going to choose in the future. And seemingly as it begins to be crushed, it becomes impossible to see in 5 years. You can't even think who you are. It's like there's just nothing there, which is the way it's always been. But life has been based, or society's been based on this one choosing. So much hell is around choice. So much hell. You've gone really quiet. I can't even hear you now, Lorenzo.
Oh, sorry. The interview came in the moment actually that I was listening to. Not only your talks, but also I was reading other things. So I was in a different, state. I don't know. So in the meantime, comes like the opportunity of like these big multinational things, and I'm there and see for real. Like I didn't know what to do. So it was like. And the responsibility came, and well, in a way, like I said, I guess it went the way it was supposed to go.
Oh yeah, for sure. It couldn't go any other way. It couldn't. There is absolutely no other option. It is as it is.
But another question I have, is everybody in the situation that see what I see is as soon as I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, what is happening lately is that I wake up and I don't get up right away. I just kind of wander for 5 or 10 minutes in bed, but it's not like my choice. I'm kind of just wandering around the room, and then the mechanism starts, right? And the story or whatever I did yesterday or I'm going to do today, and then just starts and talks all day. Is everybody in the same?
You think it's all day, but that's actually not known, because the moments where it's not there, there's not. Who would describe it not being there? There's no description happening that it's not there. So the only times in which it's known that it's there is when it's there. It can't be known when it's not there, which sounds like a right tongue teaser. But it seems like it, because the description is only describing itself. Otherwise, what would it describe? Nothing. So it only seems like it's there because that's the only time it can know it's there. When there's no me, it can't be known if there's a me or not a me. Because then you would still be something. If you suddenly said, okay, so I'm not there anymore, then there's that activity again.
So there's no separation between whoever is looking and the mechanism?
Yeah. There's no separation between anything, because everything is it. There's no witness or looker that's separate from it. Sometimes that's pointed to by speakers because it's easier to point to a looker or a perceiver or something, but then it all begins to crumble, and then there's just what is, and there's no separation at all, and there's nobody in there that could ever know that they're liberated. There's just the collapse of that one that thought it wasn't liberated and thought it was separate, and then there's just what is appearing and disappearing, and also at the same time perfectly still and never really happening. And then we begin to get all mushy brain, and we'll all sit there like, oh. Mushy brain, that's not a very good English word, but mushy brain means like your brain goes like foam.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Have we met before, Lorenzo?
No, I did listen a few times. I don't know if you see still the picture of the baby. She's actually my little sister.
Yeah, but I met a Lorenzo in India. This isn't you.
Oh, no. I did think of going to India, but no, I never.
This is a few years ago. He used to wear really big glasses.
Oh, no.
Really big sunglasses, like cop sunglasses, I think.
No, never went to India. In fact, see what you said before, that it doesn't matter if you are in India or somewhere else. I mean, if, the freedom,
yeah.
is also there,
Everywhere, yeah.
Yes, in a way, I kind of plan to go to India, but not seriously, I guess.
Yeah.
I better go to Thailand, I don't know.
It's amazing.
Yeah, because for me, and I understand understand when you say this thing is like impersonal and there is no one doing it, because what happens, what happened, when I was in Thailand and I was 33, for the first time after a long time working, I found myself doing nothing, right? Like 3 months. And
Hello? Hello? Lorenzo?
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Well, the morning I was in Thailand in the room, the question came of saying like, why can I not just sit down and just cut my nails and do my things, but always on this rushing and going to the next thing? And then the other question came saying like, I don't know, like, who am I altogether? Who am I? Why am I here? What brought me like in this place? And like, what is life? Like altogether like this. And since then, see, something that is going on, and I have no control. But see, I can say this now, or in the moment where somehow I have some clarity. In other moments, of course, this I don't even remember. I'm thinking. In fact, it's funny because I had like 3 weeks of like hard working, whatever. Because I had this project at work. I'm a bartender. Okay, so now, but then depends. Sometimes I'm a waiter, cook. It depends where. It depends what I find. In fact, I have like 4 resumes. One is a bartender, one is just a coffee bar, one a waiter, one cook or something like that. So it depends what kind of job I look for, and I present that resume. So imagine then I had the restaurant manager job in Dubai, so I added the 5th one, restaurant manager. And then it's funny because I saw one of your talks, right? I was just passing on the computer and then I saw one of your talks, and I just closed it and said, stop with this thing. I just thought, I just close it and that's it. And now, in a way, now that I'm back to this, but somehow, I don't know if I forgot what I was saying.
I forgot what you were originally saying too. The bartender, the resumes.
No, because in a way I see that all this mess, because sometimes people.
Yeah, it's so messy. Life is so messy.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So people sometimes don't want messy life. I mean, if I write mine and I talk about mine, it's just a mess, a big, huge mess. Which I love it anyway. I mean, if I don't have this mess, I don't know. I don't know if I would like it if everything went like fine and what I mean, like just just fine. So no, in a way, see, I don't think life after all is such a such a bad thing, or such a for some people might be a drama.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's only uncomfortable when there's that activity that's trying to get out of it all the time, and it's not always there. I mean, in a way, life, the world is two-sided because everything's going to die. Everything that grows is going to die. But on the other side, when that activity is not trying to get out of it, isn't there, then it's just what it is, just as it is.
Yeah, that's true. And sometimes I find myself that I don't know, just look around and everything seems so like perfectly, going like, I don't know, just I see around things and people, and sometimes I see the harmony, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes instead I see like the opposite, and I see like, oh my god, look at these people, and
But that's because
interpretation,
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm pointing to. Well, you see it as harmony, you'll also see it as chaos as well. Like you're interpreting it as both. Like it is as it is, which is undescribable in a way.
Yeah, and I have no choice, I guess, because
Yeah.
the both
just appears.
Yeah, they just come on their own.
Yeah. Funny. I better move on because I've got loads more questions.
Yeah, I understand.
But I'll put you on silent, shall I, so you can still listen.
Okay. Nice talking to you.
Yeah,
okay.
And Lorenzo.
Okay, ciao.
Bye. This is from Karen. I hear you say that when the me has gone, it can't be known that it isn't there, yet Lisa seems to be able to describe the me feeling falling away. Could you say something about that difference? They're just weird words appearing and then they disappear, Karen. And I don't know why they've got to appear and why you've got to hear them, but it's not my belief system. I don't think like that. There's not a me in here that's repeating that story, the me's fallen away, or that is who I am in any way. But the conversation about it can only come in a comparison, and it's ultimately bullshit. And I'm a biggest bullshitter. Because you can only know it's fallen away by the fact that it was there prior. So you're comparing in a story. But it's just words spontaneously appearing. But it is such bullshit. How can you talk about this? How? And right here, right now, it's both. They're so irrelevant. The me being there or it not being there or it falling away or not falling away. It's just... What to do? Hey, Jason. But just back to Karen, it really seems like I'm saying that about a me. And it just appears, blah, 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 and then it disappears. And I don't know why that's got to be heard. Okay, Jason. Hi, Lisa. So we don't control the body's actions since there is no we. So what does control them? I think you have said before that nothing controls them, that it's just spontaneously happening. If so, then how do we explain the apparent logic and movement? For instance, drinking water because we're thirsty. The hand lifts the cup to the mouth to drink it. It makes sense. How come we aren't just randomly flinging our arms and jumping up and down out of nowhere and stuff like that? I don't know why, Jason. Are you sure you're not jumping around and flinging your arms out of control? But I don't know why all this is appearing. I don't know. No one ever will. There'll be theories and words about them. About it. It's appearing because it does. And are you sure last moment you weren't on the moon? Seems like maybe you weren't. This is from Asbon. Nisargadatta said, I told the consciousness, it is you who is suffering, not I. Can people communicate with consciousness? He also said from the book, I who am there before consciousness am not concerned in any way. What is consciousness, Ashbourne? People speak about it in so many different ways, and I have no idea what Nisargadatta said. I tend to lump it all together. I think Nisargadatta separated it all out, and I tend to use consciousness as aliveness, but then I also call liveless no thing, which is what he's talking about prior to consciousness. That which is prior to consciousness is not concerned either way, no thingness, nothingness, and everythingness. I don't separate it all out, it's all oneness. Whereas some people separate out nothingness, consciousness, I amness, awareness, things. And I don't know what he means by I told the consciousness, it is you who is suffering, not I. Can people communicate with consciousness? Everything is consciousness. If you say aliveness, everything is aliveness. Everything is beingness. Where she looks like a Bali dog with the upturned tail. Yeah, the Thai, the street dogs all look the same. Bali dogs, Thai dogs, Indian dogs. The curly tails and the pointy ears. They're going back to looking like wild dogs. They're having all the features that wild dogs need to hunt and survive by themselves. Whereas our dogs that we breed in the West all have floppy ears and aren't so good at survival on their own. So how do we get going on the me destruction? This shit hurts and seems silly too. This is from Niles. It's happening beyond you. It's not your job. You is being destroyed without you even knowing it. You think you're getting things, you think you're doing things and you're building things. The silent destroyer. Richard D. Thanks, Lisa. We also thought you were drinking a giant bottle of red wine next to you, because on reflection it's probably Coke. Yeah, it's Coke. That type. That is a beautiful dog. Yeah, she's so cute. She's gone downstairs now. Right, I really have to go. I've got to fly to Germany very early tomorrow morning. Well, the flight's not till lunchtime, but I have to leave very early in the morning. So just a few advertisements before I go. This weekend, we've got talks in Munich, Germany. I can't even say where the centre is, but it's in the centre of Munich. I cannot pronounce the name, but it's on my website. And that's Friday 17th, Saturday the 18th, and Sunday the 19th. And it's all on my website. And then I told people that I wasn't doing talks in Tiruvannamalai or India, and I am. I'm doing 3 talks in Tiruvannamalai. Yeah. And then I'm doing talks in Nottingham, England. This is on the 14th, 15th and 16th of March. And Berlin on the 22nd and 23rd of March. And then we've got April in Muziek, Belgium again. And then Bristol, UK, April the 26th. And then in June, we've got 7-day residential in Pelican, Greece, which is very beautiful. And then in October, Findhorn. There's still some more to announce for the coming up year. But you can find all of this on my website. And on Sunday, there's going to be no streaming. So Sunday events cancelled. So the next one will be next Wednesday, as I'll be in Germany this weekend. Okay, my loves. See you soon. Bye.